Here's my shop. We are on 26 Noble Street in Toronto. Come on in. We're in my office. Welcome to my office, which is mostly where I have lunch and meet customers. And let me take you through to the main tool room. So the machines are here, 2 different band saws, some for resawing, some for general work. Over on our left here, we see a lot of wood stacked up. There's everything from Honduras mahogany to ebony to purple heart to some Brazilian to some spruce, various other bits and pieces. That's where it starts. Thickness sander over here, drill press. So these are the rough work happens here. And I also do polish guitars here. In fact, you can see on the wall, there's all this stuff on the wall that's overspray from the polishing wheel. I set everything up in this room when needed with curtains to protect my machines. Wish I had a 5th space, but I don't. So I do the polishing out here. But now come in to the main workroom. And so we are now in a climate-controlled space. We actually stepped up a few inches because even the floor is vapor barriered and insulated. The walls are insulated, and some equipment keeps it exactly what it is now. Room temperature, 42%, 43% all year round. In the winter, I humidify this space. In the summer, I isolate the drier air into this space. So on this other side, on the left over here, we see cut parts, necks, tops, backs and sides, bracing material. So cut parts are stored in here where it's climate controlled, and all assembly happens in this space. Over here, very early stages of a couple guitars. The frames were just bent and assembled. I've got 2 of them on the go here. I work in pairs. There are 2 guitars in my spray booth that we'll see in a minute. Another couple that I'm finishing. One just got finished and another one will be finished in another week or 2. And these are just begun. So I always have 2 at various different stages. There's half a dozen always happening. That's just a system that works for me. I work alone, and that keeps it fun for me, enjoyable. I'm not doing, you know, arm challenging tasks on the 3rd and 4th and 5th guitar. That just doesn't work for me. Anyway, this is my main workroom. We have natural light in here, which is great. And wood is stored here, as I said. And come on into the final space. We're going into my spray area. And follow me around. This is an actual proper spray booth where I'm spraying lacquer. I spray traditional nitrocellulose lacquer. There's a couple of bodies. They're going to need one. They had filler. So the top is ready, but the back and sides will get one other light sanding before I start putting coats on. And that'll happen fairly soon, but they're just sitting here drying for the filler, classical and a steel string. And the necks remain separate all the way through the finishing process, so that after the final sanding, before buffing and shining it up, you join the neck to the body, and that keeps your neck joints crystal clean. But as I spray lacquer, I spray with a spray gun, you know, attached to air, and the bodies will hang here on this hook. And the liquid, by the time it's passed through this much air, is already becoming a solid. But these filters stop it from going outside. There's 2.5 feet of airspace behind these filters and a giant fan that sucks everything out. And this is where I spray. So these will soon begin to get their first coats. This area of my shop, just some of the templates and the clamping calls that I use frequently. This means they're easy to get. I have other boxes full and drawers full of bits and pieces of things, but these are very common ones. So everything from You know, routing out headstocks where I'm using routers and guides against these plexiglass templates that I've made, or whether it's the shape of my cutaway, or, you know, the shape of my heel, of the neck. Scale lengths are marked off on plexiglass templates, on plexiglass, because it won't be affected by temperature and humidity, whereas if I cut those into a wooden piece, the wood expands and contracts. All kinds of things, cutting out the dovetail, various kinds of clamping, bridges, that's for a classical bridge. Yeah, and clamping calls of various shapes. It's just handy to have them hanging on a wall that I can grab them quickly. And down here, it's some of the hand tools. There's 3 routers here. I've got another couple that are dedicated, attached to other parts, and sanders and drills, you know, the usual thing. Oh, and this, yes, this is what I use to bend the wood. This is clamped to my bench, and there's a heating element just in an old copper pipe that's now gone dark from the heat. And what you're seeing is some of the resins from the wood, but I clamp this to my bench, and that's how all the sides are bent, the bindings are bent, everything is just done by hand. That's a traditional way of doing it, and I've gotten comfortable at it and still do it. Many other guitar makers make side bending jigs that have hot elements that bend for you, and you just leave it in the jig for a while and then it's bent. This, you have to bend by hand every curve, and you're referencing against the mold as you do it, but it gives you total control, and I've been doing it for so many years that now I can bend a set of sides, you know, in about, I don't know, 25 minutes. And I enjoy it. It's a lovely challenge, and I still like doing it the traditional way. And yes, I just made this myself. There are some bending irons that are made, you can buy, but I bought this heating element from a fridge defrosting unit and hooked it up to a rheostat and just bolted a copper pipe, and it's been working for years, and I love it.